Okay, today's a very happy day. It's Lag baomer. So what is it? What do we learn in the Tanya and Lag baomer? And how can we tie the Tanya into Lag baomer? There must be a connection between the two. So the Tanya teaches us, in continuation to what we learned last time, how the same way it says kamayim apanim ken lev ha'adam ha'adam. The same way your face goes into the water and reflects back to you, so to our emotions. When I look at you with love, my love towards you goes into you, and you reflect love back to me. So too with Hashem. When I see Hashem's love to me, so that love comes into me, and then I automatically will reflect love back to Hashem. So until today, we learned about how Hashem's infinite light becomes finite by becoming hidden, and Hashem is lowering Himself. And today we take another step to understand it even more. We have three main contractions Hashem did to create this world. We have the worlds of they're called Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya. And Hashem, in order to create the world of Bria, he really had to go out of his way and really lower himself and go to a really, really low level and contract himself where he his godliness of pure godliness is not of existence anymore. We more comprehend Hashem by knowledge. And then from knowing Hashem through knowledge, which is the world of Bria, Hashem had to contract himself even more by contracting himself to the level of Yitzira. And then from Yitzira to Asiya, right? Explaining these worlds is a whole Torah of its own. But the whole purpose behind all these contractions that Hashem did to us is in order for us to come to this world, in order for us to overcome the Yitzhahar, in order for us to have a connection with Hashem, because of how much Hashem loves us, He lowered Himself for us. He lessened more and more, and it's very essential for us to know just how much Hashem went out of His way for us. Why is that essential? Because imagine you have a friend, let's say, and you know your he's a nice friend. If you want something, you can ask him for a favor for you. I could ask him to go down the block, to go to the mini market, and to buy something for me. But that's the extreme of how much I think I can ask him. To ask him to do more than that, we're not that close a friend, you know. But then but if I know that my friend will take the extra mile, I see he goes the extra mile for me. He goes to the store was closed, let's say, and even though the store was closed, he went 2, 3 blocks down, and he found a mini market over there, and he bought something for me from the mini market that's even further away. And if I see even more than that, I see not only did he go to the mini market, but he knew that I needed other things in my house, and he went out all out and did a whole shopping for me. So now I know this friend, what I'm gonna do for him will be that much more. So therefore, it's very important for us to know really that Hashem, when I say Hashem contracts himself 3 times, and I can't really grasp what that means, what are these 3 worlds, but just knowing that Hashem really went out of his way to do everything that he can by really lowering himself 1, 2, 3, so many times, even more than that. That's only like general contraction, but there's also more less general, whatever. Hashem really went the extra mile for us, so then that will arouse me in my heart love to Hashem to a level where I'm really gonna go out of my way for Hashem. And if it's hard, I'll take the extra mile. If it's really hard, I'll take even 2, 3 miles because I know that's what Hashem does for me, does for us. And so how we could tie this into Lag BaOmer? So it's known the story of Rabbi Shimon after he left the cave. He met his father-in-law, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, and he was so heartbroken to see Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai with all the scars that he had. I guess he was in the cave. He buried himself in the ground and the dust and the rocks. I don't know exactly what he went through a tremendous amount of suffering over there, and he's scarred from it, and he's bleeding, and this looks terrible. And Pinchas ben Yair, he couldn't grasp it. He's like, whoa, woe to me that I see you like this, says Rabbi Pinchas. And Rabbi Shimon responds and he says that you are praised for saying me this way. And it's known afterwards that Pinchas, he took him to the waters of Tiberia, to the, what do you call that? The hot springs of Tiberia to heal him. And again, he saw him in pain, and he really just couldn't. It was hurting him. He couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand seeing such a big tzaddik, his son-in-law, who he loved so much, and so much pain, suffering. And Rabbi Shimon is still telling him, praiseworthy you are for seeing me this way. And I think if we're going to tie the Tanya into Lag baomer, we could connect the two very nicely. Rabbi Shimon reached very high levels, and he really grasped these worlds, how much Hashem does for us. And he's telling Rabbi Pinchas, not every day do you see someone who goes the extra 10 miles for Hashem. Hashem takes those extra 10 miles for us, but to see someone taking those extra 10 miles back for Hashem, that's something you don't see every single day. So you are praiseworthy to actually see someone who went out of his way and suffered and went through so much just to see Hashem, just to serve Hashem. And so this sounds like something that's like, how did this apply to us? This is Rabbi Shimon. This is above worlds, holy world. See, it was brilliant. See. I can't connect to any of this. I can't suffer for Hashem like that, like Rabbi Shimon did. So the truth of the matter is that first of all, we need to put it in our minds. Very important to try remembering as often as we can. Hashem does take that extra mile and go out of that way for us to create everything that we have and to be there for us in every way possible. And just by knowing that, that in itself will also have a small, not a very strong, but it will have some impact on our hearts. And with these thoughts and with these small impacts we'll have on our hearts, we can do small things better. We can make the extra take that extra few moments to make a bracha properly with more intention. We can daven a little slower. We can do things a little bit better. And with time, it can also grow and become more and more. The more I think about how Hashem does for me, the more it becomes a part of me, the more I'm connected to it, and the more I will actually feel that I want to do more for Hashem. And if I feel that it's hard for me, so then I'll remember it's also hard for Hashem to do what He's doing for me. But nonetheless, I'm going to do it back for Hashem because Hashem is doing that same thing for me. So with this, this is actually a very big help. The reason why we're learning this in Tanya is to teach us how to serve Hashem out of love. But even more than that, this love can also help us overcome hardships when it's really hard for us to serve Hashem. And you remember how hard it is for Hashem to bring us to be. So then I'll go back and take that extra mile, even though it's hard, I'll go serve Hashem.